Hello, everyone, and welcome. Believe it or not, this is the final chapter in the textbook, your final set of exercises. Then all you'll have is the last homework 4 and 5 and your final project. This chapter is really nice because it goes over a lot of how to present your map. We've spent a lot of time talking about how to take data and do different things to it. Now you want to report what you've done. You want to give that information to others. You want to communicate, which is very, very important. You've already been doing some of this earlier and for your midterm or project 1. But the exercises here are a nice review and they might give you some extra tips. All of these particular items here will be very useful when coming back here to our classroom when you're working on your final project. And again, the final project, you'll find the link to the folder with the final project information in each of the weeks from now until the end of the semester. And again, you can review that. I'm not going to go over that in this video as we're taking a look more here at our chapter 10. So exercise 10A is about looking at the symbology and again doing some more work with how visually things are presented. Okay, so we're going to use the broadband files here in your GTK Pro folder. And again, the scenario is we have TK Telecom, a telecommunications company, and they want to look at the broadband accessibility data for the state of Utah and take a look to identify where there's good accessibility, where there's not, and use that to support planning. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is open up the broadband project. And again, it has 2 maps. So if we go over here and take a look, you'll see we have the max advertising broadband speed. And then we have this community anchor institutes. We're going to look right now at this max advertised broadband speed. If it's not exactly the same color as mine, remember things sometimes come in, but you're going to see we have some layers over here and some different items that have been mapped. All right, so it says to open up the symbology pane and view how the wireless broadband layer was symbolized, and it's using unique values and a random color scheme. The layer has its values stored as numbers in the geodatabase and the technology label names associated with them. Again, this is very useful for making legends and things like that as well. We're going to look at technologies that have values of 70 and 71. Okay. And you want to explore the attributes and explore the geodatabase fields, domain subtypes in the field view. Again, so it's a good idea. We're working with this wireless broadband. Again, click on the symbology so you could take a look at this. Excuse me. Open up the attribute table and take a look at some of these different things that they have here. Again, I'm not going to, but you could over here go into the folders, broadband, and you could open this up and take a look at some of the different things in here as well. So again, it's always a good idea whenever you have data to start to work with that. All right. So now with the wireless broadband layer selected in the contents pane, go to the data tab on the ribbon and click the definition query dialog box launcher. All right, so we're going to do a query. Okay, so let's go ahead So again, you're going to click on this data here, and then over here is the definition query. This will launch it. Now notice it looks a little different from the textbook. You've just got to click on this new definition query to get this up. And I'm just going to drag it over here. All right. So in the query frame, we've got our new query, and we're going to create the following expression. Technology of transmission is equal to 70 terrestrial fixed wireless. And then you're going to click add clause. So first set this up. Okay, and I just always like to double check. Again, this is cut off, but if you point to it, it sometimes will pop up. Click on add clause. And then we're going to add the second clause using or, so we can put our 71 value in there. All right. Okay. And then go ahead and click on your apply and OK and close this all out. So then you turn off the wireline broadband layer and you should have something like this. And now we're going to work a little more with the symbology so that it's showing exactly what we want. Okay, so now you're going to do some more work on the symbology. So again, you're going to make sure you have the wireless broadband layer selected, open up the symbology, and make sure unique values is chosen. Then in the field 1, you're going to make sure you select the maximum advertised downstream speed and right click the value column heading and click sort ascending. So now we're going to right click and remove value 1, which is less than or equal to the 200. Okay. And then we're going to remove value 2. So now sort the value column in descending descending order. Now 10 11 are at the bottom, and we want to move them to the top. So you select both values, press and hold the control key on your keyboard as you click each row, and then once you have them both selected, right click and move value to top. Okay. Now you had 9 values. That's still a lot. So now we're going to group them together so that we have just 7. So you're going to select values 9, 10, and 11, right click and group values. Make sure you're pointing at the numbers if you're not getting the right things. Oops. Notice I had an extra one selected. If that ever happens, you can just click on the undo button and try again. And again, as mentioned, you want to rename that to greater than 50 megabytes per second. And then you're going to select 8 and rename it 7, 6. You're going to put 5, 4, and 3. So go ahead and rename those labels. Okay, and then once you have it, it should look like this. Okay, now you're going to change the color scheme. From the color scheme drop-down list, click the Show All and Show Names checkboxes. Scroll down and select the red, yellow, green 7 classes. Okay, you're going to click the More drop-down list and click Format All Symbols. Then you're going to go to the Properties and change the outline color to No Color and click Apply. Then go to the Appearance tab, locate the Effects group, and adjust the Layer Transparency slider to 40%. Okay, so to turn on the transparency, in the textbook it says go to the Appearance tab. Remember, the Appearance tab was renamed, and it's the Feature layer. So you click on the Feature layer. Here's the effects. Here's transparency. Click on that button, and you can slide it, and you can see how precise that is. So if you want, you can just type in 40. Okay. So now that we've got that, we're going to turn back on the wireline broadband layer. And you should see these 2 differences. I'm just going to close this, move my catalog back over. So you can see how the wireless broadband is transparent and the other sits on top. It's a very nice contrast. Okay. And now you're going to do some apply symbol layer drawing. I'm not going to go over this in this video, but this is the last piece. You can turn it on. You'll see it's this one right here. You're going to expand a group, so you just make it bigger, and it'll take you through the steps. So you can add that little bit. Again, not necessarily a required piece, but it just makes it a little nicer. All right, so when you get here, take, if you wish, a screenshot showing me these two and your completed map, or you can send the project package. All right. Take care.